air spark technology, better known as Fast, was one of the first manufacturers of speed parts to embrace the new GM engine architecture when the LS1 hit the streets. Their original LSX intake unlocked the hidden potential of the LS1, and today they have a new range of LSXR and LSXRT engine manifolds to suit pretty much any LS1 engine, along with wide mouth throttle bodies and fuel rails to match. So let's take a look at what makes these manifolds so unique and how to select the right one for your application. All of the Fast LS manifolds have a few things in common. The first thing you'll notice is the advanced polymer construction, which makes them lighter and more heat resistant than a cast aluminum manifold. It also makes the LSXR and LSXRT's modular design possible. The whole thing comes apart easily and individual runners can be removed for custom porting. Up front, all of Fast manifolds are set up with a 102mm inlet that will accept 90 or 92mm throttle bodies as well. And they have integrated nitrous bungs moulded in. According to Fast, straight out of the box on a stock engine, they're worth about 14 to 20 additional horsepower. And on big cube or heavily modified LS engines, you can see 25 or more horsepower compared to a stock intake. Fast makes their LSXR intake manifolds in 3 different configurations. You've got the cathedral style ports for the LS1, LS2 and LS6 style heads. Then you've got the rectangular ports for the LS3, L76, L92 and L99 style heads. And then you've got the raised rectangular ports for the LS7. All the LSXR manifolds are standard height and compatible with standard factory accessories. For truck applications or cars where the hood clearance isn't a problem, there is the LSXRT manifold. It will fit on any 1997 or later LS Cathedral Port truck engine, and it will also work with any LS1, 2 or 6 application where you have the additional headroom necessary. The extra interior volume is worth as much as 25 additional horsepower on a stock 6-litre engine when used with Fast's 102mm throttle body. Now, speaking of throttle bodies, Fast's Big Mouth comes in both 92mm and 102mm sizes. Both cable drive throttle bodies feature an offset blade pivot for improved throttle response, a thicker blade and shaft to resist deflection and binding, especially in boosted applications, and a modified internal design for reduced turbulence and better flow, especially at part throttle. Fast recommends using 102mm throttle bodies with convolute barrels for proper drivability, which is exactly the way Fast designed their Big Mouth 102mm throttle bodies to help with that low-speed drivability. To round out your LSXR or RT manifold, Fast also offers billet fuel rail kits, crossover lines, injector spacers for use with stock LS3 and LS7 injectors, and this complete fuel line conversion kit with a fuel pressure gauge for LS1 F bodies. Fast offers a lot of different choices in LS manifolds, so hopefully we've helped you figure out the right one for your application. If not, head to their website. They have an interactive application right there that will match up your engine to the perfect manifold and fuel rail setup. As for us here at Power TV, we're just trying to figure out how we can keep a couple of these manifolds for our own project cars. The Z06 is a bad ride, and we've always been impressed by the 427 cubic inch LS7. And this Z06 right here has already been modified with a full exhaust system, a cold air intake, a tune and a CompCam's LSR camshaft. So we can't complain about the power that she's making, although always at Power TV we like a little bit more of everything. More acceleration, better engine response and of course more torque. New LSXR intake. First things first, strap that Z06 to the dyno and get some baseline numbers.
We put down baseline in our C6 Z06 here, and as you can see we have a pretty strong baseline of 540 rear wheel horsepower and 485 rear wheel torque. Pretty strong numbers. Now let's go ahead and install the Fast LSXR intake, and while we're doing that, let's check out the details of this intake manifold.
The LSXR 102mm intake shown here is designed for LS7 engines. However, a version for LS3 and L92 engines is also available. It is a composite moulded three-piece design that is far superior to ported stock intakes. Fast engineers optimise the intake's port design, length and volume while increasing the plenum size, all with the goal of increasing power and RPM capability without killing low-end torque. The inlet of the intake has been enlarged to 102mm, so you can install a big mouth throttle body or use your stock throttle body. Fast included integrated nitrous bunks here on each runner, so you can plumb up a nitrous fogger kit. Finally, the runners are removable, so if you're building a serious race engine, you can port the plenum as well as the runners. Installation was simple and straightforward. You should plan several hours for the swap, but no special tools are required. Just a socket set and a fuel line disconnect tool. You don't even need to retune your computer, although for maximum horsepower, it's highly recommended. The guys at Cunningham were pros, and as you can see here, they have this upgrade down to a science.
So overall, this baby is a bolt-on affair. The only thing you need to decide is what type of fuel rails and throttle body to use, because unlike the factory manifold, the LSXR requires that you use either the GM LS7 fuel rails with billet aluminum spacers or these ones, the fast billet high flow fuel rails that we went with. If you're planning on upping the power down the track, I'd go with the fast. As far as the throttle body is concerned, you can stay with the stock throttle body or you can go with the 102mm. Totally up to you. Now it's time to check out the dyno.
After dynoing the fast LSXR manifold, we were impressed. We saw some generous torque increases and over 20 horsepower gained in the mid-range of the power curve. Great gains from an already good stock LS7 intake manifold. Peak increases were 18 foot-pounds of torque and 7 horsepower. After porting, engine builders report that the LSXR intake produces even better numbers.
Not only did we pick up peak horsepower and torque, we didn't lose anything from the low end, and that's from a slightly modified Z06. So just imagine what you could do with a heavily modified engine.